excited. Welcome to Creating Your Career with Marla J. Albertie. Of course, that is me. She is her. And I am super excited for episode 27. 27, guys. Can you believe it? Of our show. And yes, I have another fabulous cousin of mine, Lauren Calhoun, who I'm going to be interviewing today. Say hello to everybody, Lauren.
Hello.
I'm so excited. I love hearing about people's jobs. And you guys know I love to talk about how I met the person. Well, you know, if it's family, there's no need for me to explain that, but obviously Lauren's my cousin. We've been cousins for, our whole entire lives. So, I'm going to go I'm going to go jump right in and read her bio. Then we're going to see what Lauren is doing and how she is creating her career. I love this. All right. So, I read directly from the bio, guys. Miss Lauren Calhoun is a school counselor for Duval County Public Schools. Go Duval, serving as a school counselor at Woodland Acres Elementary School. Graduating from William M. Raines High School, Florida State College of Jacksonville, and later the University of Central Florida, where she obtained her bachelor's degree of art in psychology. After attending University of Central Florida, she moved back home to Jacksonville, where she attended Webster University, earning her master's degree of art in counseling. Lauren has worked with local agencies throughout Jacksonville, serving as a clinical counselor for Children's Home Society of Jacksonville, a counselor/program manager for the Wayman Community Development Center, and as a school counselor, she has an awesome role of providing guidance and support for children and young adults dealing with academic, personal, parental, and social pressures. This is so big. Her primary goal is to offer a safe environment where children and young adults are free to share and express themselves without judgment or fear. She wants them to be empowered to remove obstacles that interfere with academics, personal, and social growth. For fun, Lauren loves to hang out with her family and friends, especially us cousins. We all hang out. Thank you so much, Lauren, for jumping in. I so appreciate this. So let's just start. So tell the world a little bit about Lauren, starting from your history. So like where you're from up till now.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Marla. Pretty much, I was born and raised here in Jacksonville, Florida. After I graduated from William M. Raines High School, after high school, I didn't really know what career path I wanted to go in. So I decided to stay here in Jacksonville and go to Florida State College of Jacksonville. There, like I said, I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in as far as a career. So I was kind of like not all over the place, but kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do and what my purpose was. So I left there and went to the University of Central Florida, where I decided to major in psychology. And I decided to do that because I wanted to learn more about people's behaviors and, how their behaviors and how people think. So I decided to go into that field. Later, when I graduated from there, I moved back home, and then I started working at the Duval County Courthouse in the felony department. Not knowing what I wanted to do with my bachelor's degree, I decided I worked there for about 4 years in the felony department as a bonds clerk. So I decided, I was like, well, I don't really see myself doing that for the rest of my life. I wanted to help kids, help people. So I decided to go and get my master's degree at Webster University. Because like I said, I enjoy helping people, helping kids, I decided to tap into being a school counselor. And then later, graduating from Webster University, I took my path there and got into the counseling field.
Oh my gosh, guys. So you guys know I said every show, you guys know I love to talk. That's why I have a talk show. So, okay, so guys, did you hear that? I love how you were very honest. Thank you for being authentic and open about the fact that it was okay. You didn't know. You graduated high school. You're like, I don't know what I want to do. Because the world, we have so much pressure on us to want to go to college right out of high school, or go start a family and have 2.5 kids by the time we're 35. And it's okay. You don't have to make this cookie cutter design life. You said, okay, you know what? I'm done with high school. Let me figure out what I want to do here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So it's okay. I want to say that to the world. It's okay to figure out along the way. And so you said, okay, I don't want to do this. I want to do that. But then you came to the point where, you know what? I want to see how people behave. I'm very passionate about that too. I love psychology. That's why I study adult psychology, so I love to see why do people think the way they think and do the things they do. So let's talk a little bit more about the school counselor thing. How has that been for you? Because, back in the day, we used to call them guidance counselors. That
Yeah.
we don't use that word anymore.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit more about school counseling. Now, for those who don't know, Woodland Acres is a elementary school, so that's K through 5th, correct? So
Yes.
how is that what is your role of being, let's talk about, what is your role of being a school counselor for K through 5th graders? Because you would think, oh, they're just babies. They don't have anything going on.
Oh, so they do. They have a lot going on. Um,
Wow.
well, my role as a school counselor is to be there for students academically, socially. I do hold groups for self-esteem, groups for anger management. Believe it or not, elementary kids do have an array of things that they deal with: social pressures at home, social media, trying to fit in, bullying. I deal with all of that with the students.
Wow. What are some of what are some of the examples that you see that come across? Because someone that may be out there in the world, that's why we're talking about this show,
Right.
who may want to do this, because you like many other people out there have a passion for kids and they may want to get into this field. What are some of the things that you see that these kids deal with on a daily basis that you have to handle?
On a daily basis is what I see most often is students trying to kind of fit in. And really they take value what other students feel about them, so their peers. Also, they really value, I do have some value, just the overall, just being, like I said, being around those peers. So they look up to, like, they want to fit in. So
Right.
that's my biggest thing, like trying to get them to understand that they don't necessarily always have to fit in. Be unique, be your own self, be, academically strive to be you. And then your peers will see that you're being you and they will want to follow you. Because you do have some kids that are not academically motivated
Right.
to do right or want to do anything. So I deal with that a lot. They kind of like motivate kids to be themselves, because they're always trying to fit in or trying to hang with this crowd or try to prove something to other students.
Wow, I can, oh my gosh, that's so powerful. I could tear that apart, but I won't. But this is so good, guys. So you see the pressures and things that you have to deal with all the time. Let's talk about some of these. You mentioned that you do some programs for them. So these are programs that you came up with on your own, or this is something that the school system, Duval County School Board, came up with, or this is per school? How do you come with your programs to help the kids?
So I have, within Woodland Acres Elementary School, I do have my counseling program. And so my program within itself is to, like I said, empower the kids to academically, socially, just motivate them. So I came up with, I do maybe like lunch brunches where I do pull some of the kids and we do like a lunch brunch where we do a group and I teach them, how to anger management skills, how to cope with certain things that they're dealing with. And it's a pretty good thing because they're motivated to, oh, am I going to have lunch brunch with Miss Calhoun? Are you coming to get me today? So mostly I kind of like tailor the groups towards the kids and the needs of that, within that school year. Like what's the biggest barrier that we're having within the school? And that's how I create the group.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I'm glad you said that. So how do you how do you determine what is the biggest barrier in the school? Do you just go by what you see of them coming in, what their requests are? How do you determine that?
So
That's a lot.
what I do is I go by teachers. So like a interest teacher survey with my principal, my assistant principal. We kind of communicate what our school needs at the time. And then I kind of create, a group or a basis of what our needs are.
Oh, I love that. So you go and survey the teacher. Oh, I love this. So you're getting everyone involved. I love this. I love this. Now let me ask this. I'm sure the world wants to know this. How involved are the parents in the students' lives, especially with what you see on a day-to-day basis? I mean, I'm sure there's very active parents, but I know there's some parents that may not be. So how involved are the parents with some of these programs that you're trying to implement to help the kids?
Well, pretty much my groups that I do run, I have to get, parent permission first to, for the kids to be in the groups. So those parents are pretty much involved and
Okay.
want to, see a change in their child. So I do have involved parents with my groups. Now, sometimes it's hard, individual things that I do run into as a school counselor, like say, for instance, a student comes to me saying that they're having issues at home and they want to discuss those things. And I do try to reach out to the parent to see what's going on. Sometimes I can't get in contact with them. That's kind of like a barrier with me sometimes, but I do allow my students, to know that you do have someone at school that you can reach out, and I'm here for you if you need to talk or need someone there.
Okay. Oh, I love it. So a question just came to mind, and this is one that I'm sure the world may want to know too. How do you deal with, and I know it's K through fifth grade, and I know K through fifth grade is different from when we went to school, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
How do you
But
Yeah. Oh my God. So how do you deal with the LBGTQ? Do you have that? Do you have to deal with that a lot in that young of age, that bracket, or because especially with bullying going on, it just breaks my heart. Do you have to deal with that a lot?
yes, so Duval County Schools is pretty good about training counselors in that particular area. So
Good.
they do provide us with training. They do have us. I remember one training that was, I love this training that they had, where they had panels come in and discuss, how they felt. And they were teenager, high school kids, telling us as that community, how they felt they wanted an adult to listen to them or be there for them. So it kind of gave us that one-on-one personal, like as a counselor, if you have this student come into, contact with this student, what you should do, or have that empathy, or have what they are going through. I personally haven't had students in my particular school, but Duval County is pretty good about training us to deal with
Oh,
that community.
awesome. Okay, I was wondering about that because I know because bullying is so bad, and me, I just want everybody to be happy, but obviously that's
Yes.
not going to happen. So so I wanted to ask about that. So let's dive into how. So anyone out there who wants to be a school counselor and get involved in such an awesome field that they can kind of create their. Cause I love that you're kind of creating your own programs and your own niche within the school system. How can someone get involved in this? What are the steps? Obviously, you said you have a bachelor's degree, you have your master's degree. Is it mandatory to have a master's degree? What does someone need to do to even jump in and get started?
Okay, well, you would really have to, depending on what state you are in, you would have to see what requirements are needed. Here in Florida, you do have to have your master's degree. I
Okay.
know that some states do require you to have a teacher's teaching background, but necessarily here in Florida, you don't have to have a teacher experience to go into the field. So I suggest that you research whatever state that you're in to find out the requirements. You do have to have what's called what I had to do was I have my master's degree, and then I had to take what's called the general knowledge test and professional development test. So that's the same testing as teachers. So school counselors, we do also do what's called school guidance classroom lessons, to where we go into the classroom and do lessons as far as social skills, things like that. So we do have to do lesson plans sometimes to go into the classroom and actually teach a class.
Oh wow. Okay. So so I was wondering about that because so you do have to take your general knowledge test, which is that's
Yes.
the basic test for all teaching, right?
Yes.
Okay, but you don't have to take because I know I know once you get into middle school is segmented. So you have your social studies, your math, and you don't have to do any of those. Just your general knowledge test.
You do general knowledge, and then you
Okay.
do the subject area test, which is the school
Okay.
counselor test.
Okay, so the subject area is the school counselor. Okay, see guys, so you see now we're learning. That's what the show is about, learning the steps you need to take to go out there. I love this. So now once you do that general knowledge in that subject area, can you go into any grade portion? Like you chose K through 12. Suppose you want to do middle school, which here in Florida is 6 through 8, and high school is 9 through 12. So is it broken down that way, or once you take it, you can just go with any grade you want to?
So my certification is from pre-K to 12th grade. So
Okay.
if you want to go if you don't necessarily have to do elementary school, you can
Okay.
do middle and high school. So in Florida, you will have your certification from pre-K through 12. So you can really tap into, what I did was I contacted the principals. Well, I looked at the vacancy list and contact the principals by email, phone calls to kind of get an interview in, and then got the interviews, and then that's how you get your foot in the door.
Oh, so guys, you hear that? So you can't just sit on the couch. You can't just take the test and sit on the couch and wait for the heavens to drop down with the position. You got to get out there and be active. I love that you said that. You went out there and you did the work. You said, okay, I'm going to find the vacancies. I'm going to reach out to each individual teacher or principal. You have to do the work. So I love that you said that. Let me ask you, would you want to go into other grades, or are you happy with K through 5? Would you like to go to middle school or high school?
Yes. So middle school is kind of tricky. That's that tricky area. I wouldn't necessarily say I would rule not doing middle school, but I have done high school. I did do my internship at First Coast High School, and I did love that. But really, when you're a school counselor, it's a different kind of area when you do middle and high school, because in middle and high school, your main goal and your main focus is doing like courses, so graduation requirements.
Yes.
Basically in high school, you really pretty much trying to get students ready for graduation. So your main concern as a school counselor would be making sure that the students have their courses needed for graduation, and if they're finding a career path for them. It's pretty much different from each level. I know with elementary school, I do try to see, what career the students are trying to go in, but they have a little different things that they're dealing with. So it's totally different. So you have to kind of like research to see which direction you want to go in.
Yeah, I can only imagine. They're probably in their little mind, especially kindergartners. They're like, "Oh, I want to be an astronaut." By the time they get to 5th grade, "Oh, I don't want to be an astronaut anymore." So.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so awesome. So we're wrapping up here, but I do have 2 more questions. So what skills? So you told us the hard skills, degree and do the research, but what soft skills, what emotional type stuff does a person need to have in their bank that they want to deal with? Obviously you're dealing with kids, so you don't want to be the kind that's want to cry at everything you hear. Like, what does someone need in their toolkit to want to take on this type of job?
I would say you would have to be flexible. So you have to be able to have flexibility, because me saying flexibility, your day is never the same as a school counselor, meaning that you may have something scheduled, but you would have to, maybe if you have a crisis situation with a student, you would have to change your whole direction of where you're going. You have to be okay and comfortable with flexibility, because your day is not going to be planned out the way you want it to be planned. I would say acceptance. You have to be acceptance with your students. They have different backgrounds. They have different cultures. You have to be acceptance of things that they may be going through. You have to be acceptance within you, what you're going through. Self-awareness. You have to have self-awareness within yourself to try to help students. So whatever you're going through, you have to kind of have that self-awareness within yourself to kind of help other students. Also, I would say empathy. That's a big thing. Empathy, because you have to realize that when a student is crying, you can't be like, well, just go back to class. You have to have that empathy for students, because you have to build that rapport with those students so they would feel comfortable to share information with you. Everything that the students share is confidential. You will only share if they're trying to hurt themselves, hurt someone else. That's the only time you would report it or share. But you want to have those students have that rapport with them so they will be able to share with you. So having empathy with those students, they'll know that, oh, I can go to Miss Calhoun to talk to her about, what I'm going through.
Basically all of those. So empathy, acceptance, self-awareness, and flexibility. To me, all of those sound like you just need to be open-minded, right? And just be there. And you're a safe place. That's what it sounds like to me. You are a safe place for these kids. And guys and gals out there who are watching the show who want to go into this field, hear these things. Self-awareness, number one, is the first factor in emotional intelligence. So you got to have a great emotional intelligence factor if you want to go into this field. You have to want to have empathy for these. I love that, because walking in their shoes, that's what empathy is, walking in their shoes. You can't just send them back to their room and be like, oh, shut up. I love that you said that. And if you don't, and you know yourself, and if you don't know yourself, spend some time knowing yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't know yourself, please do that. But you know yourself. If you don't, it's okay. Everyone is not empathetic. Everyone does not have self-awareness. Everyone does not have all of these things. Everyone's not going to be accepting, especially dealing with different cultures and different backgrounds. And, because that's what makes us unique, our backgrounds and our cultures and things that we've been through. That's what makes us who we are. So if you're not willing to accept that, then this may not be the field for you, or any type of dealing with school age type, but then again, when you get older and become an adult, you got to deal with it anyway. So you may want to think about those things. Oh my gosh, Lauren, this has been so awesome. I've learned so much. This is why I do these, because I'm selfish. I want to learn too. I want to know. I want to know too. So before we wrap up, my last question is, tell the world something unique and interesting about you that we may not know. A fun fact that you can legally share.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. I would say that I love being around water. Like, I love water. Like, I love having that peace. Like, any type of, the beach. I love just the beach, just sitting and just relaxing. A river, a pond. I just love water. The sound of water, just water in general.
It is relaxing. It is. I do love water. I don't go as much as I want to. I wouldn't say I'm a water. My best friend, she's a water freak. She loves water. So I'm not like that. But I do like going to the beach. I do like relaxing. So I totally understand. I'm following you. We're eye to eye with that. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. So if anyone wanted to contact you with this information, or just to talk to you, if they want to get into this field, they want to get your advice, how can they contact you if they can? How can they reach out?
You can send me an email. My email address is my first name, Lauren, LAUREN.Calhoun@att.net. I'm also on Facebook, and it's Lauren Calhoun. And you can reach out to me there.
Okay. Awesome. Well, and also, too, guys, we'll have these links down below. Don't forget, this episode 27, is brought to you by theworkingwoman.co, my blog under the Truth Speaks group by my multimedia company, helping the 9-to-5 working woman discover work-life harmony and not work-life balance. Please follow us at workingwoman.co. If you want to be interviewed, I'm booking right now for 2020. I'm full for for the rest of 2019, but I'm booking for 2020. Email me, contact@truthspeakscoaching.com. I never did change that email. So contact@truthspeakscoaching.com. We'll check you guys out for episode 28, where I have another fabulous guest as always. And thank you so much, Lauren. This was so awesome.
You.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.